dozes in the dusk, throw it all away. You see a light wherever you go. You have to face it again and again.
Okay, this here, I'm showing you a, that was, either Eddie or Decora's. I was just showing you that, but, and for this video of this game, I'm going to also be, showing a little sound clips off, but of the game's music. As long as it isn't playing for like 10 minutes, you know, it's fine with YouTube, you know. So. Super Metroid. I first battled the Metroids on Planet Zeebs. It was there that I foiled the plans of the space pirate leader Mother Brain to use the creatures to attack galactic civilization. Also known as Metroid 3, it pretty much covers what happened in the previous games and the opening cutscenes. So, I next fought the Metroids on their homeworld, SR-388. I completely eradicated them, except for Lyra, which followed me around like a confused child. Person delivered to the Galactic Federation Research Station is serious scientist who studies energy-producing qualities. Scientists' findings were astounding. They discovered the powers of the Metroid might be harnessed for the good of civilization. Satisfied that all was well, I left the station to seek a new bounty to hunt, but I had hardly gone beyond the asteroid belt when I picked up a distress signal. Sirius Station was under attack. Since I'm already doing sequence breaking videos of this game, and I'm doing Metroid Prime, you know, I'm trying to get this in one video. For how I did it was just I double the speed of the gameplay, and then you know, I went my speedrun route, and this recording, I finally got to the point to about where I was the last time I speedrun this game, and just to kind of talk over it and stuff or whatever in one video, just get it over with quickly, considering I've done quite a bit of stuff on this already. I was showing off sequence breaks and stuff on this game or whatever. I wanted to show off the music and talk a bit about the story, which really isn't. There's not much of that to this game, like there is Metroid Prime. To this game, it's mainly the gameplay that's I suppose, yeah. Everything else they just kind of show you. Well, they kind of show you a lot of the story, is what I guess what I'm trying to. Instead of just tell you, but I'm a little tired. I also learned a few tricks, a few new tricks, unlike before or whatever. Like that one back there. To improve future runs, I didn't exactly do as well as I probably should have. with those tricks. But considering my in-game time, and there's a reason why I doubled the speed or whatever. I thought it would be faster, at least with the time that I was expecting to get, but it was over 2 hours, so I decided to double the speed just to get it all in one video and stuff. But I'm tired because am I sleeping again or whatever? I went to sleep a couple of hours later than what I'm up right now, so it's not as bad as what I was doing before. But that trick there, it's a bit faster than getting out the normal way. I didn't get off there on first try, but it was still faster. Admittedly, I could have done a little more practice with some of the tricks I did, but really kind of like this one, this track. What I'm about to do here is the mockball glitch. Whenever you jump at a certain time and then before hitting the ground and morphing while dashing, your speed is retained, and whenever you turn into morph ball. So I was able to get past that area over those disappearing blocks, something I wouldn't be able to do if I was just dashing there because of those gates. Because Samus is too big or whatever, running normally or whatever, you know. That trick's useful because supers, you get super missiles like that or whatever. You originally get super missiles is beating a mini boss that I didn't fight here. You know, because of this trick, you can completely skip the mini boss. Along with another trick, but I'm going to be doing that later. Because I find that it's better to do it later than do it right now, unlike what I used to do. But because I have speed booster and stuff, I'm like, it's faster, you know, just to do it that way. And plus, you probably have more super missiles, so you could probably clear that there if you jump at the right time and not get knocked into the water like I did there. Getting hit by that enemy. Wall jumping is pretty even with some of the other glitches that weren't intended or whatever. You were intended to go through this game fast, come back through this game and try to go through it kind of fast again, probably because of wall jumps or whatever. There were certain creatures in this game that do certain moves or whatever that that make you they have moves that Samus can do, like wall jumping or whatever, and they kind of do that or whatever to like, can I do that, you know? I mean, and you start trying it out, and you find out you can. That trick there, I'm pretty good at it now. You can do it you can do it faster, but than when I just did it there. But now, me playing this or whatever, I'm was I going to? Oh my god. I'm tired. Oh my. Idiot right now. Oh yeah, I guess I'll talk about about me getting over there to Kraid's area or whatever. You normally are expected to have the high jump. And just by doing a running dash, you can kind of wall jump off one of those walls or whatever. Or shoot a few super missiles, destroying those super missile blocks and doing a running dash there. That probably can be faster. And the way I did it. But it's better with conserving super missiles. The way I did it, but finding out you can do this stuff or whatever is probably gonna make you want to try and play through the game again or whatever, because you're not gonna know these moves or whatever the first time that you can do this stuff or whatever for the first time. It's like, maybe I should play through the game, you know? And they reward you in a way or whatever, kind of. I mean, they just have a slightly different ending or whatever, you know, for playing through it a little faster, but the game can be beaten much faster than that, but there is a point, you know, to beating the game a little quicker, you know, coming back through and doing that, but me getting over here or whatever, you normally have to go through a long path just to get over there to that area, a completely different path. And you can just get over there just by doing a running jump and wall jumping off that wall to get over there. And then the wave beam I got, you're normally expected to have the grapple beam to get over there, but you can just wall jump and tank the damage from the spikes. And because you have the wave beam, you can get over here. You know, the intended route is it's much you're meant to get the power bombs before this, which we're actually about to get. The unintended way, an unintended way to get them. It was Crocomire. The mini boss we didn't really face in this video is called the Spore Spawn. I didn't show that off because he's completely skippable. The first boss, I wouldn't. It's more of a mini boss. That's the Chorizo statue. Or you can just call it the bomb boss because it gives you bombs, but nah. There's also different forms of Shine Spark is another move that you're not supposed to know. That one enemy that I showed that we seen at the beginning of this video, he's the one that kind of shows you in a way. You can do a Shine Spark to get up there to do it, but it's a little slower in the way I did it. Just obviously you need the speed booster for that. The intended way to get that is probably to use the grapple beam on those enemies back there, and that's a really tedious missile tank to get. You know, I'm pretty sure that's the intended way, and it's like, my God, you know, what? Come on. And I've done it before. But me completing the game as fast as I do, it qualifies for a speed run. So, I've done an hour and 18 before. I think I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah, I could probably do it faster now, but I don't want to try it because, I'm doing things with a keyboard, not a controller, and I would rather do things with a controller. And not that it would probably be much different if I were using a controller. It probably wouldn't feel that much different, to be honest. The original SNES, like plugging an SNES controller into this and hooking one up. I'm pretty sure you can use other controllers, maybe, but I seen these tricks or whatever. I wanted to try them out on this game, and I did it. Because I had access to save states or whatever, I got really good at the game, and because I seen other people do stuff like that, I decided to try and beat the game that quickly, and yeah, what I do here is a short charge. Well, it's a quick charge, not a short charge. It's
that was a fake.
A normal charge. It's pretty much just getting a normal charge quicker than you would be able to normally, or whatever, by manipulating certain button presses and stuff. I could probably do short charges. I think I've done it once before, but I'm not very good at it, and I probably require much more practice for that. It would be really useful for a boss later on. The run I did for this was really, as you see here or whatever. I wasted a lot of health getting over here. and I had to fight this dude with this much health, and I come pretty close to dying here, but I fought this dude numerous times, and I had a lot of practice with him. I thought maybe I could do it if I tried my hardest, and I did, so... Because of what I was using to record or whatever, my actual in-game time was probably a little lower than what it was saying, maybe a little under 2 hours, but it was probably around there. But because I was using a button that sped up the emulation, which really doesn't help. Well, a control setup that sped up the emulation, and what I was using to record this or whatever doesn't really record that. I had it a little quicker. It probably was around maybe an hour and 30 minutes or whatever for my in-game time because of that, but I only did that because just to make it more convenient for you guys, but it doesn't really... that's just in-game. That's just real-time. That's not in-game time. If I said in-game time before, what I mean is in-game real-time. My in-game time is... It was an hour and 19 minutes for this, but... yeah. For speed... With how speed runs go or whatever, that's pretty average. Normally you want to use the gravity suit to get over here to this area because there's water and stuff over here, but you can't access this area or whatever. Have like the high jump and a couple of other items, but it's a little more tedious. This isn't the only game I'm this good at. I actually started playing... I actually started to, like, Prime 1, Prime 3, Prime 2. I'm pretty good at those games, and I had a lot of practice with Prime 3. I got really good with that. Prime 1, I did an any percent run rather recently. I did pretty average for speed runs or whatever with that as well, but I could have done a better run. I didn't have the access to the internet as well as I do now. I went to the library to figure out some of the tricks that This trick here, this is pretty cool. I kind of learned this. This really helps my run a little bit here. Because if you get damaged and if you somersault into those guys fast enough or whatever, like multiple times, you'll phase through those R2-D2s. Trash cans, whatever the things are, but it really helps trying to get that item in there. I'm actually, already did the commentary for another video I did. I don't know why I did it before this one. I don't know. I think I was thinking of doing it like on a different day. I don't know. I may still do it. I don't know when I'm gonna upload that one either, but I decided to do a video on talking over a challenge run you can do of Super Metroid with the set path that I've talked over about in that video, but it was it was a bit of a challenge run for me too. So even though I was using save states, but there were kind of replacements for save rooms, But that's the only reason why I was using them. But I didn't use them that much, but nah. It was mainly one of the main reasons I used it because of this one trick to get into this area or whatever, and it would probably take me a couple hours just to do that trick if I didn't use save states. But I've done it before without save states, but it took me a couple of hours again. So yeah. I guess I wasn't sure if I wanted to upload this video on a Monday. Well, if I wanted to upload this video like in between parts for my Metroid Prime playthrough that I'm doing right now, but I'm trying to put up on my channel, but yeah, in the past couple of years, past year or two, I have been doing quite a bit with video games and stuff or whatever, and speedrunned like a few games, I can speedrun a few games now, but and those are actually with controllers too. Now I can emulate those games, and I can actually do, because I have access to save states, I can practice that stuff. Obviously, I'm not using save states to do this, just to make it do this video, Obviously, I'm not using save states to do this video. Because I don't really need to, but because I was just wanting to have I don't know, just do that as well. I don't know too, but you can do a quick charge here. Short charge is even shorter than quick charging. And it's quicker than the normal way you normally do that. How you do a quick charge, I find, is to is press the directional button like once for about a few seconds. Just hold it down and then let go of it. Well, I wouldn't say a few seconds. It's probably like close to a second, maybe. So like not even that long. And then let go of it, and then hold the dash button. Well, actually, no. Uh, you do what I just said without holding the dash button down. Then you press it again. Press the directional button again. In other words, you press the directional button twice. Holding them both down for a particular amount of time. And the second time, or whatever, you hold the dash button down, and then that should work. And I think there was another way you could have did it, but I can't remember right now. I may say something about it. Editing, but... As I'm aware, I probably completely forgotten a couple... Well, obviously, I've... There are some things that I messed up on while commentating and didn't really finish talking about, but because I'm tired and stuff, I can't talk very well. A little kind of tired, not really a bit that bad right now. For botch wound, just use the charge beam there and shoot him from there, because it helps with conserving energy, and it actually hits better than regular missiles or super missiles, but it's probably just better to use that, even though super missiles probably would be better to use right now without because we don't have the best beam yet, but gotta be much more precise, you know, and super missiles are, you have a limited amount of those, you know, so... The Shine Spark I did, I let go as soon as I seen Samus's suit start going blue, but still holding the directional button, to get through that door without running into it by a few frames. You can do that in a couple of other places as well, I'm pretty sure, but if I could do a short charge to 2 well enough here, I could have killed this boss quicker than what I'm doing here. This is another quick way you can kill him pretty quickly, just by using the grapple beam and shooting it into one of those machines and electrocuting the shit out of you and Dragon for a few seconds, but obviously, if you didn't get why we were here, Ridley, the dragon at the beginning of the game, he stole the last remaining baby Metroid from the space colony, and the space colony blew up, and we're kind of after him, trying to get it back. But he's working with the space pirates and stuff, and um, they're probably going to use it to try and. If you know anything about the Metro, they're pretty dangerous creatures, and they're a considerable threat. In Metroid 2, she had to completely destroy every single one of them on the planet that they come from. The only place that they were mostly left at. That's how bad they were getting. And that was in Metroid 2 or whatever. Same thing in Samus Returns, obviously, because that's a remake of the game, which came out pretty recently in 2017. But it's been a minute since a good Metroid game. I guess Federation Force wasn't that bad, but Other M, I mean, it wasn't that good. Other M was pretty. I'm not a big fan of it, clearly. It's not the worst game, ever. It's not. I guess it's not that bad, but it's. There's quite a few things that isn't good about it, But I'm not saying there's nothing good about it, but it doesn't shake my liking on the Metroid series, though. That's for sure. Um, yeah, the 80% run I did of Metroid Prime, which was rather recent, actually. I haven't done a 100% run in a while. I kind of would practice that stuff for a little while, and then I did 100% run on normal mode once, which was like I think it was maybe once or twice. I don't really remember. It was like 3 hours and 30 minutes, but that was a long time ago, and I'm much better at that game now. With Metroid Prime, I actually got used to that game with the controller, and I did also with the Metroid Prime 3. Obviously, Prime 2 has the same controls as Prime 1, but I spent a lot of time with Prime 3 or whatever playing that game. That those two areas, if you're trying to do a 100% run like I am, 100% speed run, um, if you go down the wrong one, it wastes a lot of time, and it really sucks in a speed run if you mess that up. For a lot of people, it's pretty much a killer, a speed run killer, but if they wind up doing that or whatever, and yeah, if they're not thinking, but obviously when it comes to speed running, I guess you have to not think with some things, but with other things, you kind of, I don't know. So you won't mess. I don't know. Something like that. Prime 3 was, remember Prime 3, it's considerably a much longer game than Prime 1 and 2, and it was, it doesn't have as good as glitches as Prime 1 and Prime 2. Both of those games, are a bit slower than Super Metroid, but Metroid Prime comes pretty close to this game. An 80% run of Prime 2 comes close to. Either 100% or any percent comes close to this game as well for speed running. For being as broken as they are. Any percent runs though, if you obviously you can speed run this game in 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm just talking about glitch speed runs if we're talking about any percents. From my memory, what I was able to do, there aren't very many runs for Prime 3. I never posted one, but the best I was able to, yeah, that Shine Spark there is a bit faster than if you're running at full speed with your screw attack and space jump there. And I missed it, sadly, but it would have really helped. It was around 3 hours 40 minutes, 3 hours 45 minutes for 100% run. This is in-game time for Prime 3, which is for the runs that are on there, that's pretty that qualifies. The 80% run I did was about 2 hours and 40 minutes, I believe. For my best, my 80% run, it probably looks better than my 100% does, but I didn't have access to an emulator, so I wasn't able to practice certain tricks that I was seeing that I just would have been really helpful. So, not like I do now. Obviously, I need to be able to use the controller for it, though. I haven't tried to see if I can emulate that on this computer yet, but nah. It would be great if I could, considering that can run Dolphin, certain GameCube games on Dolphin emulator and stuff, but some of them, up until about a year ago or whatever, that's pretty close to a lot of the runs that are on there, the times I have for it. The most recent times for any percent and 100% now, though, much better than the previous runs. There were some new tricks that were found that he did that, yeah, unlike the other runs or whatever. Plus, it's not very popular to begin there. Prime 3 isn't really. There was only like 10 runs compared to like how many Super Metroid had, which was almost 1,000. You know, that's nah. Prime had about a couple hundred. I can't remember, but nah. Because of something I learned recently with Dark Souls 1, me possibly being able to use save states, even though I'm not using an emulator for it, maybe I can eventually start trying to practice stuff with that, but nah. Something I should note about the about the beams I have right now, the plasma beam, the wave beam, and the ice beam combined together or whatever, they're actually about 1.5 the amount of damage of a super missile, so they're stronger. Those ninja pirates back there, you know, that two shots them with 2 charge shots. Super missile is just 3, so with the ice beam on, have the ice beam on if you're facing those guys or bosses. It strengthens your beam a little more. If you're using charge shots and stuff, I don't really see very many people doing that because the ice beam in this game, for a lot of normal enemies, it'll just freeze them whether or not the ice beam does more damage. Does enough to kill them or whatever. Even with stronger beams like the plasma beam. If you look at the damage values, like in Smile or whatever, clearly they're supposed to, one-shot them, but because of the way they design the ice beam, it doesn't. Yeah. Better not. It's just better to come over here to get this item later. Just more convenient with like the screw attack and stuff. Same thing with the item that is in this room. I also tried turning down the mic a bit, see if it helps with the echo. I have this thing really low. It's like on 2, and this thing is, for the mic. If you have it really high or whatever, the echo gets so loud or whatever, it'll hurt your ears actually. I'm trying to do my best to fix that a little bit. I used to do something else. I actually don't get that energy tank anymore, though. It might help just to get it. It's a little faster because stuff like the screw attack and stuff than it is like as soon as you get access to it. And I decided to get the other stuff like the power bomb now because not until now because of the convenience of it. Just better, you know. Um, if I get better with the murder beam, it probably would help out with some boss fights too if I decide to use it. Um, for the longest time, I think I've heard about the murder beam, but I've never really seen how to do it. So I always thought wasn't really a use for the X-ray scope or whatever. If you yeah, but they're actually, if you know where all the items are and stuff, and as well as I do, you know, I mean, I don't take notes or anything or whatever. That's how well I remember this game or whatever. But a lot of these items, but now that I know about the murder beam or whatever, I guess there's a use for it if you're doing glitches and stuff. But nah. If you can do it, but nah. There was another reason why that kind of hurt my time. I don't know how I messed it up either. I normally don't, but I still got an hour and 19 minutes, which was still faster than my than a video that I had up like on my previous channel. But it was about an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 21, I think. But I fell down there, and normally I don't. I don't know. It really sucked that had to happen or whatever, because normally it doesn't happen to me. You know, that never happens to me. So it's like, come on. It kind of makes me angry because I probably would have had a new record time maybe if it wasn't for that, but not that it's that big of a deal, you know, because I'm using a keyboard, because I've gotten used to the keyboard controls, you know, and I'm not sure if that's a bad thing or whatever if you're speedrunning Super Metroid or whatever. The version of emulator that I have is fine, so I've seen that. I would just have to get used to a controller if I yeah, but most of the skills I think that I've kind of known about this game, I think I've kind of learned most of it like back then, like when I was 12, 10 something. But other skills I learned later or whatever. The majority of it, a large percentage of it. I'm not saying like 10% of it I figured it out. It's probably more like 25 to. I'm not probably not 50, but maybe like 40 or 30% of it. But um, I guess the other reason why I did the challenge run is so I could probably try and do certain ROM hacks that would, like Super Metroid Impossible, or be a little better with when it comes to like doing randomizers and stuff. But for it to kind of benefit me or whatever, I'm probably gonna do some randomizers in the future, but um, not just of Super Metroid, but yeah, if you want to complete it in about an hour, this is pretty much the way to do it. Just don't mess up with those one other things that like I did. I mean, there's probably like 5 or 10 minutes, a little over that with how good I am, but it's not that far off, you know. If you're talking in-game time, with real time, it's probably somewhere around 2 hours. But considering the what the thing was at, whenever the recording, whenever I was done recording the gameplay, yeah. In fact, I might actually upload this before the Metroid, the Prime video I've already made. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this and to upload it like on Monday, or when I was going to upload it or not. Like I said, but since it is kind of a playthrough, and I am trying to, I guess I might as well. And it's one video, so. Nah. Now, this is another thing that could probably hurt you in a speed run or whatever. These two missile tanks. If you mess up and fall on those disappearing blocks on the wrong way or whatever, you're gonna have to go all the way back around just for that other missile tank, which would really suck. I guess that's another one that I messed up on in this or whatever. But it's not as nearly as bad as those are. I mean, it's not as bad as that one, and definitely not as bad as the one in Meridia. That's what I should be saying, but. The one in Meridia was Dragon, the water area. The worm-looking boss, that was Botchwoon. The Chorizo-looking guy, that was the Golden Chorizo. Yeah, you can use super missiles or regular missiles on these guys. If you get caught by them, just use power bombs. On the Metroids here. Apparently they found other ones, and other than the baby Metroid, I guess, nah. Or maybe they just had some stored away. It's kind of weird. Last Metroid might... Funnily enough, I guess because of how crazy evolution is with Metroids or whatever, because of that particular Metroid being on this planet, it's evolved into a new type of Metroid called a Super Metroid, I guess, which is the name of this game, I guess. But maybe Metroid's got that big, but I don't know. It's before they evolved it into a new form, but that's the way, the differences in sizes and stuff and graphics and stuff. It's kind of hard to, yeah, I don't know. Normally Mother Brain, that's pretty much the gist of it, but this is unlike any other Metroid game that had Mother Brain in it. I believe, from what I've heard, this is like the original Mother Brain that the Chozo originally created. They might have shed light over this in the comics, but I don't know. I don't. They never really said anything about it in the games, but nah. Or maybe the other Mother Brains weren't finished at all. I don't know. And they finished this one, but with the construction, but yeah, you can get back up if you have enough energy tanks from the hyper beam there. That's the rainbow beam she's using. It's probably because the reason why she's so badly tired here is from getting nearly killed by the Super Metroid. Well, that was originally the baby Metroid, but in case you couldn't tell. And he saved you. But funny how a destructive force. A thing that we sought so long to destroy or whatever, you know, would wind up saving us in the end. Completely destroy their entire species practically, and Mother Brain also has the ability to control Metroids, so that's another thing. How much the baby Metroid cared for Samus, because she practically the mother of Samus, practically. That's what went on at birth, whatever it had. But if it wasn't for that, then it would treat Samus the exact same way, probably. But yeah, you can do this here. Just wait for the beer lava to rise up there a little bit, and then you can kind of do that. It normally seems to work for me if you do. For me, if I wait. But doesn't seem to do that if I don't. The fastest runs of this game that I've seen is like around the 30-minute mark for somewhere around 30 to 45 minutes for 100%, I think. The runs I've done are like pretty average for Super Metroid. For any percent, it was more for glitched or whatever is around 5 to 10 minutes because of this one glitch at the beginning of the game that skips right to the ending cutscene. But um, there are other types of runs, like a glitchless any percent that you could probably try out, which is about as fast as 100%, I believe. But um, hmm. um, yeah, this is the best ending. There are 3 endings for this game. Um, but yeah. 100%. I left a save state just like at the end of this or whatever, just to show you this here. I wasn't using save states for anything else, okay? I'm being honest here. Um, like you can save those guys. Catacombs and the Koras. I guess they run off to a spaceship somewhere, I don't know. They appear in Fusion, but well, that's gonna do it. See you guys later.
Throw it all away. No one can break you, nobody can tear you. You live an endless life forever. Hold on to darkness, the dozens in the dusk. Throw it all away. You see a light wherever you go. You have to face